On everybody, I'm back with another video. This video is going to be looking at Manchester United versus Tottenham Hotspur in the English Premier League. And before we start, check out becoming a member. You get really cool exclusive content to new tactical information, presentations, and a direct line of communication with me and the other members where we can bounce ideas off of each other. And now the members will also receive a free copy of my book, latest by the end of the month, but hoping to get that out as soon as possible, so be on the lookout for that. And check out the link for Keyframe, which is how I make the second half of this video, and let's get right into it. So with Tottenham playing in possession, Højbjerg would often drop into the first line, and Ndombele or Lo Celso at times would become one of the pivots or the double pivot. Kane would drop as a false 9 or just a deeper 9 to create runs for Son and Moura in behind to try to take advantage of the Man U high line. So when Man U were in possession, especially higher up the field, Tottenham looked to play a 4-1-4-1, a more attacking approach in the first half. McTominay would drop outside of the two central defenders. Fred would become the lone pivot, and he would be the link between the first line and the advanced options between the lines. Pogba got the start as the left side midfielder, and him, Fernandes, and Rashford would be a very fluid three controlling the space between the lines. And from here, their movement, and in the second half especially, we saw Rashford play a little bit higher up the field, and players like Fernandes used this space in front of Rashford, and Cavani played a little bit more towards the left-hand side. Half of the video, we have Manchester United's build-up first, seeing that they won the game. Fred is the lone pivot when Scott McTominay drops into the right half space, becoming a back three in the build-up phase, the width being drawn from Luke Shaw and Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and oftentimes when they would then force Tottenham to defend deeper, Lucas Moura and Son would be forced back and to a deeper position in the second half, making it harder for them to have effective offensive transition. Then we see Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba playing between the lines and playing very narrow, allowing for this movement from Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw to play in advanced areas. Rashford in the second half playing a bit higher. Now we have the Tottenham midfielders, and we can see their general setup. So Ndombele was dragged out from the movement of Scott McTominay. The wide players are oriented towards the fullbacks, and Lo Celso has the numerical disadvantage of Paul Pogba playing in his blind side and Fred as the pivot, having to make the decision whether to step to Fred or go to Paul Pogba, while Højbjerg is the lone pivot, and he is being effectively pinned by Bruno Fernandes. So now another situation from Tottenham. Now in possession, we have our back three with Højbjerg dropping, and a lot of times when Højbjerg would drop and Tottenham looked most effective, it's when Ndombele or Lo Celso came deeper, and the Man U players were then drawn forward to this position and releasing space between the lines for players like Harry Kane to drop into, and allowing Son and Lucas Moura to then run in behind. But Tottenham played a diamond in midfield, primarily when they were attacking, with Son and Moura playing through the half space to then take advantage of their narrow runs in behind when Kane would drop deeper. Lo Celso playing in a more advanced role, but Lo Celso, Højbjerg, and Ndombele, they had a bit of fluidity in their midfield, and their potential to then move off of each other and circulate which player was the pivot when Højbjerg would drop, looking to then create space in behind for their narrow runners or releasing their fullbacks into higher positions. When Man U would build from the back, especially in the first half, they used Dean Henderson very sparingly, and when before McTominay would drop into the right half space, they would play with a double pivot, which would prompt Spurs to play in a 4-1-4-1, as we mentioned earlier in the video, which gave them more access to the Man U players and made Harry Kane the lone forward, trying to cut the field in half and force the ball into ineffective areas. What this did was it left a lot of space between the lines, which in the second half, Man U got much better at exploiting and taking advantage of, which came from releasing the fullbacks higher up the field, forcing the Tottenham players to then drop deeper and forcing them into deeper areas, putting them a little bit further off it, making it harder for them to transition and it made it harder for them to get players closer to Harry Kane. So that's the analysis, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.